Hey guys, so I figured that I would go ahead and click on live instead of waiting one more minute uh to give people a chance to come in and uh catch my video. So this is really going to be about releasing your old patterns and changing how you believe about yourself. If you're sitting there and you really honestly don't believe you can be successful, you're not going to be successful. You have to change those belief patterns inside of you. It starts with how you feel about yourself first and foremost. Because if you're sitting there and you believe that you can't create success or you can't have abundance or money or this or that, you're not going to have it. When you start honestly believing in yourself and loving who you are as a person, truly going in and loving yourself, not letting people disrespect you, not letting people take advantage of you, not overgiving, not people pleasing, not doing none of these things, that's how you shift your reality because you're no longer doing things that you don't want to do. You're now stepping into that person that wants to create a better reality for yourself, that wants to move forward, that wants that success, that that uh wants that different reality that you want to bring in. As long as you're sitting there and you're having these certain type of beliefs about yourself, that's what your reality is going to be like. Have you ever heard of as above so below? Well, it's not just as above so below, it's how you feel inside. If you don't feel worthy inside, you're not going to get the reality you want on the outside. If you don't feel like you're worth abundance on the inside, you're not going to get that abundance on the outside. You have to feel abundant. You have to feel successful. You have to know in your heart you are successful. You have to know in your heart you are prosperous. And, it's changing your belief system. It's changing how you honestly believe because we was all programmed to believe a certain way. So when we go in and we start changing those belief systems that has been buried deep within us and releasing those old belief systems and truly walking in who we are, walking in us, walking in the truth, walking in our authentic selves, that's when you will see a shift. You have to be who you are. You have to be your authentic self. You have to quit covering up, lying, and stuffing all these old energies inside of you because all those old energies are doing is keeping you from the reality you want to create. Once you start releasing those habits, those patterns, those beliefs that you have within you that you can't be successful, that you can't have abundance, that you can't do this, that once you first and foremost, if you want money in your life, you have to stop worrying about money because when you worry about that, the universe is going to give you that reality. Once you start saying to yourself, I am successful, I am abundant, I am helping millions of people. Once you start believing in yourself and believing that you can create this reality and believing that you're stepping into this reality, that is the reality you're going to create. Many people don't understand how manifesting works. It's not just, oh, I'm going to put it out there and it's going to come to me. No, you have to work towards that. And if you're not willing to work towards the life you want to create, if you're not willing to put that effort in, if you're not willing to take that step forward and try to help the universe create that life you want, you're not going to get it. Faith without works is dead. Even the Bible tells you that. Yes, you can have faith all you want, but if you're not willing to step outside of what others is going to say about you, or what others is going to believe about you, or what any outside source has to say or do or think or this or that, you are not going to create the vibration you want to bring in the reality you want. It all goes off your vibration. So once you start raising your vibration, knowing you are beautiful, knowing you are abundant, knowing you are worthy, knowing you are successful, knowing you are confident. Confident is the key word. You have to have confidence in yourself to bring in the reality you want. The more you sit there and keep going over old patterns, the more you sit there and keep going over things that happened in your past, or dwelling on things, or just hanging on to old energies that no longer serve you, you're not going to get the reality you want. It's all about releasing those old energies and letting new abundant flow love come into you. Once you start feeling that love inside of you, that is when you are manifesting the life you want. That is when you are creating the life you want. That is when you are moving forward in your life. If you keep honestly sitting there and thinking that the universe is going to bring something and drop it in your lap without you working towards it, you're never going to get nowhere. If you don't have that that get up and go, that mentality to get off your butt and go after your dreams, your goals, your hopes, those things, that is the reality you are going to get. Let me tell you something. I watched The Purge Anarchy not too long ago. And during that movie, there's a guy that goes in and he's kidnapping, it shows he's kidnapping these women. But during this movie, he literally says something that rang out to me, that rang out to my heart, that rang out to what we go through during a spiritual awakening. Hold on. I'm not sure if I still have it on my phone or not. But if I do, I'm going to play this for you, because what he says during this movie is the truth. It is the truth, right down to, if you let fear hold you back, that's what it's going to create. If you let that fear keep you, hold on, I gotta find this because I can't remember what all he says, but I know it has to do with fear. And that's what most of us are hung up by, is fear. And why? Because that's all the news puts out. That's all you hear across TV, is stuff that makes us fear. And when we release that fear, and when we start listening to that inner voice inside of us, that's when we create. That's when we know. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this, what he says, because it's so telling that during this movie, he said this. And it was just like, wow, that really rang out to me. And it rang out so much, I recorded what he said. If I can find it. How do I go to right here? I think it's this one. Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Everybody has the urge to purge. Fear is the great thief. If you let her inside, she will rob you blind. She will take everything she can. Not everyone has the courage to listen to the voice that begs them to rise up, to fight, to achieve their dreams. What stops them? Fear. But not you. Not today. Today, your old life is behind you. Tonight, your new one lies straight ahead. No, please, no, please. Shit. Please, please. Whoever you are, just let me live. Your house has been breached. Don't be afraid. Come with me. Because you had the strength and the courage and the fortitude to face your fears, all your dreams will come true. Now, did you hear that? It is releasing that fear inside of you and letting your inner voice guide you. Many of you don't know that when we are watching TV, when we are doing certain things, there's certain messages that you can receive while you're watching TV. That's part of being psychic. That's part of an awakening process that you will go through is you will hear things on the TV, you will hear things on the radio, you will hear things being put out, and when it rings out to you, it's for you. You have to release that fear that has been holding you back. You have to release that fear that has kept you bound and stuck from stepping into who you truly want to be, from who you truly are. That fear is what bounds a lot of us from keeping us from being successful, from being abundant, from being creative, from being the person we truly are, because that fear is what has stuck with us our whole lives. Like I said, from the time we are born on this earth, the first thing that happens on the very first day of your birth is what? You start getting jabbed with freaking needles. So, what's going to happen then? That's going to instill fear and what else? Pain. Fear of when the next shot's going to come and pain from that shot. So, from the time you are born on this earth, you are being instilled with fear. Many people don't understand that. Release that fear. Know who you are. Know you're creative. Know you're abundant. Know you're successful. And watch how your life changes for you. Watch. I guarantee you it will change for you. You have to step out of that who you thought you was to who you truly are. The ego, I call it erasing God out, because that's what you're doing. When you're listening to your ego, you're erasing God out of your life. You're erasing God's voice inside of you to guide you out of your life. Once you release that fear and truly start stepping into listening to your higher self, that inner voice that we all have, that's when your world changes. That's when your world will change for the better. So many of us have been stuck in such a fear mentality that they get stuck in lower vibrational things. They get stuck in not knowing what to do, not knowing what to create, not knowing who they truly are because they can't step outside of that fear. They can't even step outside of that fear long enough to raise their vibration. And that's what I call running on autopilot. That fear is what keeps you bound. That fear is what keeps you stuck and held back from being successful, being creative, being that love that you feel inside of you. None of us are perfect, but it goes about accepting that, accepting your good and accepting your bad. No matter who we are, we all have faults. And it's the matter of, are you willing to accept your own faults about you and love yourself anyway? As soon as we start accepting our own faults that we have, our own bad side that we have, and give us the love that we deserve, that's when you start feeling the love from the universe pouring into you. That's when you feel that your life is changing. That's when you know you're stepping into that life you want to create. It is no more, oh, I feel bound. Oh, I feel stuck. Oh, this or that. It's truly loving yourself enough to know you can be successful, enough to know you can be abundant, enough to know you're here to do certain things. You have to raise that vibration because if you don't, you're not going to manifest the life you want. If you keep sitting there in lower vibration and letting, I call it devil energy, stay a hold of you, how are you supposed to create the abundant life you want? How are you supposed to create the things that you want in your life so you can go forward and do other things with your life, more abundant things with your life? You can't. So that's when you have to truly start stepping out of what has been holding you back. So many get wrapped up in their ego that they don't know how to step outside of that. So many people believe that they are their ego and they're not. And those are the people that aren't going to be able to manifest. Those are the people that aren't going to create the new world. Is because they're so bound and stuck in devil energy, is what I call it. You have to truly start stepping outside of that and stepping into who you are, what you want to create. If you're here to help people, start doing things to help people. If you're here to help people, start creating so you can help people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about love. It's all about having the love from the universe flow through you. And when you feel that love from the universe flow through you, you know then and there you are successful. You know then and there you are abundant. You know then and there you have done the work. Now all you have to do is release that fear. Step into your higher self. Step into who you want to become. Step into who you really are. Because as long as you're listening to the ego, you can't raise your vibration and you can't step into your higher self. It keeps you bound. So many of us are here to help raise the vibration on the planet, to help others. And when you go through a spiritual awakening, you find out that what you're here to do. You find out what you're here to do and who you truly are. But it's up to us alone to do that work. It's up to us alone to let go of that ego, let go of that pride, and be who we are. The universe just isn't going to bring you in something if you're not willing to put in the work and be your true self. It's not going to happen. So if that's what you think, you might as well forget it. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to raise your vibration. You have to be willing to step outside of who you thought you was and step into your heart. All right, guys, I wanted to put this out because all this was weighing on my mind, and it was like spirit was telling me that somebody needed to hear this message. So I had to get that message out to you. All right. I hope it resonates with somebody.